was brillig.
Good evening, my darling Batley.
Gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy or the Lara Crofts, and the Mograths of the grave.
I'm gonna pretend I understood what the fuck you just said.
Long story short, it's my monologue for next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see, said the blind woman in this case to her deaf-wife.
In not so short words, it's the poem Jabberwocky. And since
Okay.
yeah, and since we're my school is doing Alice by Heart and it's based off Alice in Wonderland, I figure, you know, what else would there be a perfect time to do Jabberwocky as a monologue?
So tonight we're going to be looking at a game that is the first in a long-running classic series that I have never really given my time or attention to. It's Tomb Raider, and we're going with the original PS1 version instead of the remaster just for 100% authenticity, even though technically if I wanted to go as original as I could, I should be playing the Saturn version. My history with Tomb Raider is I've always been aware of the Tomb Raider series. I've played a bit of the 2013 reboot. I've played a demo for Tomb Raider 3 and could not figure out what to do and got frustrated and quit every time. So this is going to be my attempt to try out the series from the beginning, see how it evolves, and see what parts of it click with me and what don't, and see whether it's something I can call myself a fan of.
Okay, that seems like a pretty interesting way to go about it.
I do have some bits of housekeeping to get out of the way before we get into tonight's festivities. Namely, I need to get caught up on fan art that I've been sent. And or have commissioned. And I also, just for fun, wanted to take a look at how Tomb Raider was marketed back in the day, with a compilation of 90s era Tomb Raider commercials. So fan art shall be first. I've got the slideshow right here. First up, we've got my reference sheet for my Maxine model, done by my channel artist, Angelic Shiba, also known as Shiba Yuki, who everyone should totally send a commission to for model sheets and other such bits of art. She's working on a big project for me in the future that I'll go into detail more about soon enough. Stay tuned for that.
And hell, I commissioned her to create my new business cards. She did
You're a bit
fantastic
quiet.
job. Oh, shit. 1 second. Yeah. But yeah, I said that I commissioned her to create my new business cards, and she did one hell of a job.
Nice, of course.
I agree here. That is nice. A horse. Next up, we've got a Hero Forge Maximilian Arikado, made by our very own JKR Productions, right here.
Thank you.
He's quite skilled at recreating things in Hero Forge, I've noticed over the years.
Yeah, it took years to get the hang of it, but I think I'm starting to actually get the hang of it.
Next up, we've got this piece of me and my buddy Cloud Sato that I commissioned from Angelic Shiba, where we're dressed as our respective Senran Kagura favorites. I'm dressed as Murasaki, and they are, sorry, slip of the tongue there. They are dressed as Katsuragi. Sorry, Sato, if you see this. Sorry for the slip of the tongue. We have another Hero Forge, this time of Maxine, done by, once again, JKR.
I actually like this one a little bit better than my Maximilian one. I just think it came out better.
And finally, I believe this is the final one, we've got a Yakuza-inspired piece of fan art by Angelic Shiba from when I streamed Yakuza 0.
What are my
We'll wait
treatment?
for David Byrne to go away and stop telling us about
How will this
mesothelioma.
affect my loved ones?
Ichabod
You
Road.
may be entitled to financial compensation.
I know Cobalt Rogue is a connoisseur of Tomb Raider, so I knew he'd want to tune into this one. But yeah, Yakuza-styled fan art of Maximilian Arikado. And yeah, that's for tonight's fan art. Last thing before we get into the game tonight is some old-fashioned Tomb Raider commercials, just so we can fully engross ourselves in the sights and sounds of 1996. This compilation was made by a very small YouTube channel called The Retro Gaming. Everyone, if you like the compilation done here, then you should go drop them a subscription over on YouTube. They only have 3 subscribers right now, and for compiling these, I want to credit them and give them a little boost if I can. I know I don't exactly have the biggest following, but I want to help in any way I can. And I'm going to have to screen share over to JKR so he can hear the sound.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
So we'll full screen this. Can you still see the screen share?
Yep.
Ooh, bit too loud. There we go.
Come on. Yes. Come on.
Ah, yes, the music famous from Tomb Raider. Oh, I see. I haven't watched these beforehand, by the way.
Technology.
Let's do this. Yes, ma'am.
ZDNet.com, where technology takes you.
Son, can I try that out?
No.
I would say he needs an adult, but there's 2 adults right there,
Yeah.
and neither of them are helpful in this situation.
Right.
Also, wasn't expecting an ad for cheat codes on this. Remember back in the 90s where it was like, oh, to be a pro at games, you need to cheat. And that's still true nowadays if you have been following the Billy Mitchell stuff.
Hey, time to load up on PlayStation games. Greatest hits are on sale. Crash Bandicoot, Jet Moto.
But I don't even have a PlayStation.
You do now.
Oh yeah, look at those low poly titties. Homina. Sir, I don't think you're allowed to just go up to her and put your arm around her. This is out of character for Lara Croft from I've seen. Actually, she would just shoot him in the face for doing that.
Mom know about this?
Who? Does Mom know about this?
Oh. What is with the theme of breaking families and pervy dads in these commercials?
PlayStation.
What makes you sweat? Is it passion? Or could it just be heat? What about not knowing if your very next breath will be your last? What about all 3? Tomb Raider. From IDOS Interactive.
Okay, I could have done without the pervy narrator.
Yeah, and immediately into this. The 90s, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves with Tomb Raider 2. Seems like most of these commercials were for Tomb Raider 2 and 3. So we'll stop with just the first few and we'll bookmark this for later.
Excellent.
For when we get to Tomb Raider. We'll check back into this every time we get to a new Tomb Raider game, basically.
Excellent.
So yes, with that out of the way. Fuck, where did I put my controller? There the fuck I put my controller. All right.
Maxine,
I'm a bit too far to the right. There we go. Yeah, I scaled up my preview, but without properly adjusting my position.
I swear, Maxine, you'd lose your head if it weren't attached.
I'm a cyborg and it is detachable.
I mean, look at me. My head was never attached, and I turned out just fine. Could say I'm
You think
ahead of
this
the game.
body's natural? The answer is it's made from the highest tech stuff imaginable, most of which I can't name because I do not speak technobabble.
Where's the good doctor when you need him?
Probably working on some interdimensional travel stuff. I hope that
Yep.
he, I hope he put up some, bug zappers this time. Last time he tried to work on a teleportation project, he got merged with a fly. It was a whole thing.
So he decided to pull a Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
Oh,
But with
jeez.
decidedly less of a depressing ending.
Well, that's good, I guess.
I've seen The Fly. I know it's just one of the most depressing movies ever, which is part of why it's so great.
I have never actually seen The Fly. I've seen clips from it, but I've never actually seen it. I want to.
I've
I
never
just
seen
never
the
got a chance.
original The Fly, but I've seen the Jeff Goldblum one by God, what's his name? David Cronenberg.
And of course, David Cronenberg would have been behind that one.
Core Design. Original developers of Tomb Raider, who at the time were more known for their PC games, for like British home computers. This is their first big break into the console space. Does anyone know if the Maximals and Predacons landed nearby? Because I think we just found one of the golden discs. And look, there's a
Stasis pods,
Predaform.
more like it.
What's a man gotta do to get that kind of attention from you?
It's hard to say exactly, but you seem to be doing fine.
Well, great. Though truth is, it ain't me that wants you.
Oh?
No, Miss Jacqueline Natla does, from Natla Technologies. You know, creator of all things bright and beautiful.
Seal it, Larson.
Ma'am.
Feast your eyes
What an
on
ass.
this, Lara. How does that make your wallet rumble?
I'm sorry. I only play for sport.
Then you'll like a big park. Peru? Vast mountain ranges to cover?
Oh, so she's not even in this for the money. She just likes
Rocky
the
crags,
adventure. That's
savage
awesome.
winds, and
Nice.
there's this little trinket.
So she's like
An age-old
Carmen
artifact
Sandiego
of
from
mystical
the Where on
powers
Earth is
buried
Carmen
in the
Sandiego series.
unfound tomb of Qualapec. That's my interest. You could leave tomorrow. Are you busy tomorrow?
Alright, so I have played the tutorial for this to get used to the controls. I've played the first couple levels. Once again, I wanted to get as used to the controls as I could before stream because I'm told that the controls for this game are a big barrier to entry for people who didn't grow up with it. Also, hi T-Mile. Hi.
Hey,
Demo
Timo.
loading. I was going to show the tutorial, which is neatly set in Lara Croft's manner.
Ooh.
surprisingly low tea house for a multimillionaire. Maybe maybe my image of multimillionaires
Welcome
is
to my
just
home.
tainted by today's
I'll take you on a guided
multimillionaires.
Yeah, probably. So, I mean, these days, multimillionaires usually like to stay in like penthouse apartments.
Use the
That's what I
D-pad to go into the music room.
You know, I didn't expect Lara Croft to have that kind of, not really high-pitched voice, but still a little bit higher in hits than I expected for her. And yeah, tank controls that also have a little bit of quartz into like how jumping and running works. I know people like the meme on, well, you can't really turn the camera in this, but Poppy does our perfect pyramids in this game. But meanwhile, I'm like, who ass is just a cube? She has got the squarest butt in history.
Okay, let's do some tumbling. Press the jump button.
That depends on what the jump button is.
The jump button is square.
Not X.
Nope, this was a pretty early PlayStation game, so the controls hadn't been solidified as like what button is always jump yet.
Fair.
And also, this was originally designed for the Sega Saturn, and then ported to the
Oh, okay.
PlayStation. And
Now press it again and quickly press
the
one of
controls
the
are basically
directions, and
remapped
I'll
from a
jump that
Sega
way.
Saturn controller's layout.
Fair.
And yeah, for the jumping takes a little bit of getting used to, because it's not like, oh, just hold the direction and jump and you'll go there. You have to jump and then immediately tap the direction you want to jump in. Otherwise, you'll just jump straight up. My arms feel stronger because my boobs feel bigger. I heard people making fun of the leveling system is for the sixth game in the series, Angel of Darkness. We'll get there when we get there, because Angel of Darkness is supposed to be an absolute shit
The
show
main hall.
that
Sorry
effectively
about the
killed
crate.
the
I'm
original
having some
Tomb
things put
Raider
into storage
studio.
and the delivery people haven't been yet.
Yeah, Angel of Darkness was rushed out the door to coincide with the second Angelina Jolie movie, so it was
Run up
released
to
in a
crate,
very
and while
unfinished
still
state.
pressing forward, press action, and I'll vault up onto it.
So you can automatically vault up onto things by just moving towards it and pressing the X button.
Noise.
It doesn't mention in the tutorial, but if you press circle, you do a 180-degree turn / combat re. Flip side, she has decent physics for her jumps. Yes, she does. This is like really realistic platforming, where like
This used to be
you have to actually time everything
run
properly
everywhere.
to make sure you make the
When I want to be
distance.
careful, I walk. With the walk button down, I won't fall off even if you try to make me. Go. If you want to look around,
Yeah, if you hold down
press
the
and
walk
hold the
button,
look
which is
button.
R1,
Then press in the
she'll walk
direction you
slowly
want
and
to
she'll
look.
also automatically not drop down off of platforms if you get too close to the edge. From what I've read, part of the reason that the jumping is so
If a jump is too
particularly
far for me,
timing-based
I can grab
is
the ledge
because
and
this
save
game's
myself
built
from a
off of a
nasty fall.
grid system, where
to the
like
edge with a
all
white
of your
line
movements
until
are
I won't go any
quantized
further.
into spaces
press
on a
jump
grid
immediately, followed
rather
by
than
forward,
actual
and
free
while I'm in
movement.
the air, press and hold the action button.
So that's one of the things that
If I
I've
do a
had to
run-
get used to is like you
Walk to
can't
the
just
edge with the
move
white
and
line
jump
until I
freely.
stop.
Everything has to be
Then let go of
timed
walk and tap
perfectly.
backwards to give me a run up. Press forward and almost immediately press and hold the jump button. I won't actually jump until the last minute. Right, this is a really big one.
Like, I
So
played
do a
this
running jump
and seeing how
exactly
its
as
controls
before,
work, I can totally
except while I'm in
understand
the
why
air, press
so
and hold
many
the action
early,
button to make me grab the
not
left.
necessarily 3D platformers, but
Nice.
3D action games ape the control style of Tomb Raider, because it's effective for how it's designed.
I can't climb up because the gap is too small. But press right and I'll shimmy sideways until there is room. Then press forward. Tap backwards and I'll jump off backwards. Immediately press and hold the action button and I'll grab the ledge on the way down. Let's go for a swim.
Yeah, you have to manually grab ledges instead of automatically doing it.
The jump button and the directions.
And now, for
move
the
me
last part
around
of the
underwater.
tutorial, swimming. Which, I will say this has better swimming controls than, like, any of Rare's games I played. So, kudos to Core Design for figuring out 3D swimming controls in 1996.
Nice.
Mobile Port's pretty generous with the timing for the controls, I think. Maybe don't cite me as a source. I know that, if you play the remaster that's on modern consoles and PC, they offer a modern controls option. And that one's a bit more free with its movement.
Now I'd better take off
But
these
I
wet
find
clothes.
it... Hold on. Take off these wet clothes. Oh. Oh, that's it. Damn, we don't get... In this teen-rated game, we don't get to see any perfectly pointed cone teddies. What a funk. Oh. But, yeah. My problem with the modern controls in the remaster is that the level design's not built around the modern control system, so it feels a bit clunky. From what I've played, at least. I haven't gotten very far in the remaster. Although the option to toggle between the original graphics and the modern graphics with the press of a button is a feature that more remasters should have. Like, the ones I can think of off the top of my head that do that are the Wonder Boy remaster, the Halo 1 remaster, and the Tomb Raider remaster. Lara, funny, I don't think you're dressed for that. I was gonna say the Alps, but no, this is Peru. You're dressed for the rampart of Peru. I don't know, is Peru known for its snowy mountains? I've never been there.
Neither am I.
Don't shoot the doggos, they just want a treat. They just want a treat and some belly rubs. Lara, you're a monster. Also, and I do not mean this as an innuendo, I'm noticing that her cutscene model is almost entirely made out of sphere primitives in a 3D modeling standpoint. Like, obviously, like, the boobs are just spheres, but, like, her ponytail is just a series of spheres. Motherboard also has an automatic LEDs grab, which you have to turn off in order to either to find a secret or grab a required item. Yeah, that sounds like a quality of life feature that would break the game. You know, if this game were, like, from the ground up, remade today with modern sensibilities instead of the source port / remaster that they did for it, they would totally have, like, epic music playing the whole time. I like that you get just ambient sounds for a lot of this. And then music used for specific cues instead of a backing track. the fight music is so good in this game. Yes, it is. On the rare occasions that it shows up, it's good at setting the tension for a battle. I mean, back then a game was a movie and a movie was made, so... A game was a game and a movie was a movie, so it made sense. Yeah, and... Like, the PS1 generation is where we started getting games trying to blend cinematic stuff into games, I would say. Especially, since unless you were playing on Nintendo 64, everything was CD-based. So there was a lot more storage, so they could fit, proper cutscenes and voice acting and bigger narratives. Nowadays, every game's trying to also be like a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
Or at least every AAA game. I shouldn't say every game. The indie space isn't like that. So would you like to know a very stupid fact I learned about the creation of Lara Croft as a character? They went through a lot of different designs and names for her, and eventually settled on the name Lara Croft. But then someone at Core Design was like, oh heavens no, you can't call her Lara Croft. Those stupid Americans with their Yankee pronunciations won't be able to pronounce Lara. So call her Lara. And then lo and behold, everyone in the 90s who grew up playing this game pronounced it Laura anyways.
Yeah. Like, it always bugged me. Every time I heard someone refer to her as Laura, I was like, it's not her name.
It was supposed to be Laura, but they changed it to Laura to be easier for us Americans to pronounce. And then we still pronounced it the wrong way anyway.
Why is she shooting dogs?
Because otherwise they would have attacked. It was self-defense. Preemptive self-defense. She may be British, but she fights like an American.
I see. So I had an idea that, I've been just kind of mulling around in the back of my head. Now I'm actually working on it. I am actually making physical representation of the Good Doctor, but again, this is subject to change because, you know what you want. I'm just going off of what
I still haven't finalized his design on my end.
Yeah, this is just how I think he might look from my idea, but again, subject to change because I'm...
Who knows, I may incorporate some of your ideas into it. All I know is that he's definitely going to have some goggles.
Okay. That could be,
and of course a lab coat.
Yeah, well, goggles and lab coat I can do. I originally just gave him like one of those, a pair of those armless glasses, but honestly I think goggles might work better. For the whole...
Why not do it? Why not pull a Robotnik and have both?
No, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
The only thing is, if I were to make like a V-Roid model of them, goggles are such a pain in the ass to do in V-Roid.
Yeah, that's fair. But hey, he doesn't always have to have the goggles. That's what I think anyway. But again, your creation, your ideas. I am merely the instrument to bring about.
I'm also trying to decide whether he's going to have like wild and crazy hair, or if he's going to be completely, not necessarily bald, more safe head.
Okay.
Like, I'm trying to decide whether to go like, Dr. Reanimator, with him, you're, Dr. Steele.
'Cause I'm gonna be honest, I originally gave him like very neatly swept back hair, but again, that was only what I personally envisioned. But again, I'm willing to.
Like the way I
These are not.
envision is someone who's very unkempt because he spent so much time in the lab rather than worrying about his own upkeep.
Okay, good to know.
Like, if I decide that he's bald, it's because he shaves his head just to keep it out of the way while he's working.
Fair.
Sort of like how, what they ended up doing with Dr. Robotnik in the movies.
Yeah.
Deathcat says breast. Yes, perfectly triangular chest. I've heard of barrel-chested. I've never heard of pyramid-chested. Pyramid titties and a tubular ass. Truly the pinnacle of 90s sexiness. You had a transformer exploding your area a few days ago?
It wasn't.
I hope it wasn't Soundwave.
It probably was.
You know what? It was probably, given the tendency to explode, it was probably Waspinator.
Yeah, probably.
Is this a remaster? No, this is the original PS1 version. I have the remaster. I just want to play this as true to the original as I could. Because I'm going through all of the games in release order, and some of them haven't been remastered, so I don't want to, like, spoil myself too much with quality of life updates. They're not there for the sequels.
Oh boy, what does Starscream do now?
He blew up. If I remember correctly, his last words were, "Hey, what's this?" She's dead.
Congratulations,
Also, early instance of ragdoll physics, where like she ragdollizes it almost instantly upon death. It's pretty entertaining. Watch out for those pointy bits, but the pointy bits of the boobie are the best parts of the boobie. Depending on what kind of pointy bits you're talking about. Look, we're not gonna be able to escape the discussion of boobas when Lara Croft is involved, especially PS1 Lara Croft. It's impossible.
Impossible.
I should probably heal. So I don't get one-shotted by a wolf again.
Yeah, that would help.
The only Oni Plays joke I'm particularly familiar with is the running thing with Freddy Freaker.
Oh god. Freddy Freaker. Oh my god.
Freddy Freaker. Yep. And it went so far that they actually bought a license from the owner of the Freddy Freaker IP to make official Freddy Freaker merchandise. Not to be confused with Freddy Fazbear, Freddy Freaker.
Right.
Which was a mascot for a phone line back in the 80s. With a theme song done by Stan Bush of the Touch and Dare fame. At least we think it's Stan Bush. I don't think anyone's actually asked him. But it sounds exactly like Stan Bush.
Right.
if I ever, for whatever reason, get to meet Stan Bush, one, I'm going to gush to him about how much The Touch and Dare mean to me as like inspirational songs as part of my workout playlist. But I'm also going to then ask him, did you do the Freddy Freaker commercial jingle? And then he's probably going to, like, stab me in the back with a poison dagger just to silence me. Like, the world must never know about the Freaker. My favorite thing about the Freddy Freaker commercial, other than the jingle presumably done by Stan Bush, is that Freddy Freaker's in a T-pose the whole time. It's not because of limitations with the puppet that they use for it. It's just that they never bothered to pose his arms. You know. Lara Croft is single-handedly killing the entire wolf population of Peru. Yes, he's T-posing to assert dominance, not because the people who filmed the commercial were too lazy to pose him. Freddy Freaker's a good thing to show people who have no idea what it is and don't understand what, even though I wasn't there for it, I still somewhat understand the craze of, 1-900 numbers, that it was call this number and speak to this fictional character kind of thing. Like, they had one for He-Man, they had one for different holiday mascots. Yeah. And I'm not just talking about the ones that were just phone lines to have phone sex. That's a different thing entirely, but they both use 1-900 numbers. Show people Freddy Freaker with no context, and they always have the best reactions. Which, my favorite reaction of that was, one from Vinny from Vine Sauce, where as soon as the commercial started playing, he just said, "What the Christ is this?" Okay, we opened the door. Is that all? Are we done? Yay, we're done with level 1! That reminds me, we did talk about the reason why NORAD tracks Santa every year. You know, I don't think we did. We just, we mentioned on one of the Metal Gear streams that, Big Boss canonically believes in Santa Claus and believes that NORAD tracks him every year. Legendary war hero / war criminal Big Boss. The only one who surpassed the boss in combat, saved the world from nuclear destruction multiple times, almost caused nuclear destruction multiple times, believes in Santa Claus, terrified of Dracula's. And yes, I believe he's the kind of person that refers to all vampires as Dracula's. I had canon that. It's because of a misdial that ended up happening, that kept happening. Interesting.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Yeah, that was I don't remember the exact reason. I just know some kid accidentally misdialed NORAD by accident, because apparently Kmart had a similar number, and the kid transposed 2 numbers and ended up calling NORAD. And the general on the other line.
The weirdest thing that's happened during that time period. There's still the probably the weirdest thing that happened with people accidentally or intentionally doing stuff that ends up getting the government involved in some sort of hijinks would probably be the Max Headroom TV hijacking.
Oh yeah.
It still gives me nightmares to this day, even though I was not there for it. It's been preserved on YouTube, and the guy who did it was never identified and never found. There's still a warrant out for his arrest.
I've asked my my mom if she ever remembers that, and she's like, honestly, if at the time she was watching, if she and my dad were watching Doctor Who at that point, that night that happened, she does not remember it.
Like, it only happened very briefly during a specific episode for about, 90 seconds.
Yeah, which is why I was questioning, because I was like, I know she and my dad used to watch Doctor Who during that era, but from what I gather, she said that either she doesn't remember, or she wasn't watching Doctor Who that night. So
The interesting thing about that story is that there were actually 2 hijackings from the same person that day. There was another one during a sports news broadcast that didn't have any sound.
Just if it did have sound, it was just more the issue was that it was just constantly crackling noises because the sound wasn't coming through properly.
But the fucking poor anchor for that segment had to find a way to recover from having his signal hijacked mid-broadcast. And he had the best reaction. He's like, well, if you were wondering what that was, so am I. Do you guys know about the Tomb Raider Netflix show animated by Powerhouse? I've heard of it. I'm interested in it because Powerhouse does amazing work. At least the bear scared the shit out of me. I mean, it's not the first time that someone's been jump scared by a bear. I can think of a few situations where it's pretty common to be jump scared by bears. Depends on whether you're staying late at night at a pizza place or if you're accidentally wandering into a nightclub. So we found out just through these first 2 levels that Lara Croft has a vendetta against wolves and bears and bats. Is there any kind of animal that she does like? If I remember from the intro bit I've seen of Tomb Raider Legend, she likes Yetis. Or at least that incarnation of Lara Croft likes Yetis. She's just an animal killer. In this game, at least. I think the later games add more human enemies. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't played them. I played a demo for Tomb Raider 3 because it came on a demo disc I had as a kid. And I could never figure out what to do. Because it just kind of plops you in the middle of a prison cell with no instructions. Bigfoot, she got... Oh yeah, that's right. She got personal with Bigfoot. That's right, in the opening cutscene that guy representing Miss Jacqueline was like, what's a man gotta do to get that kind of attention? Which implies that she didn't, kill Bigfoot or capture him. She had a fling with him. Which can only mean one thing. If you've ever seen the movie Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, you'll know that canonically, Jack Black is the son of Sasquatch, which means that the implied fling between Lara Croft and Bigfoot resulted in Jack Black. That explains so much yet so little at the same time. How is that physically possible? Well, you see, when a man and a woman love each other very much. No, don't climb the box, pull the box. Wait, no, I actually have to push the box back into place because I have to get up to a higher space using the box. And you can only move it one space at a time because, like I said, this whole game's on a grid system rather than having, like, free movement. So, get ready for more box pushing.
Oh boy.
Cobalt Rogue, Redeem Dave, highlight my message saying I love how atmospheric these games are. I agree. Just from having played the opening bits of Tomb Raider 1, I'm loving how good it is at setting the atmosphere. You really feel like you're alone in some abandoned ruins, with nothing but whatever is trapped in those ruins to keep you company.
I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
Okay, Nicolas Cage. By the way, if you guys haven't seen it already, I can't show you on stream because it's got too many uncensored boobas in it. There is a fake movie trailer made by Rob Zombie for what I call the best movie never made, for a fictional movie that was aired as part of a double feature called Grindhouse. The fake movie trailer is called Werewolf Women of the SS.
Oh, jeez. I mean...
And it features Nicolas Cage in it.
Oh, jeez.
In the greatest role he never actually got to play apart from Superman. Except, unlike Superman, this movie was never supposed to be made. It was a fake trailer to give you the feeling of watching trailers before a shitty Grindhouse movie. Although some of those fake trailers that aired during the Grindhouse double feature did end up becoming real movies. Hobo with a Shotgun, Massetti, Thanksgiving. The only ones left that never became real movies that I know of are Don't and Werewolf Women of the SS.
I find it funny that, I mean, I know it's kind of fitting for the whole, like, Werewolf Women of the SS, because from what I understood, the SS, like, back then, I believe, I could be wrong here, but from my, research, they like to believe themselves as werewolves a lot.
Yeah, a lot of them refer to themselves as, like, the wolf of such and such. Wolves were a big part of their iconography. To my understanding, I don't claim to be an expert on them, but in this case, it's like, no, they're making literal werewolves. Uncomfortably sexy werewolves. And you, oh my god, someone else has seen Hobo with a Shotgun. Dascat, I love you. Oh god, Hobo with a Shotgun is one of my favorite movies. Like, everyone says Rutger Hauer's best performance was in Blade Runner. I say his second best performance was Hobo with a Shotgun. Like, you go into it expecting it to be a shitpost of a movie. What, no, it's, like, actually surprisingly good. But yeah, it is a very cruel movie. Like, it does not have a happy ending at all. Which is fitting for the tone of the kind of movies that it's trying to capture. Grindhouse movies of that era, which, if you don't know what a Grindhouse movie was, it's another name for exploitation films that were shown in low-budget theaters in seedy parts of town. They were usually shown either there or in drive-through theaters. And Grindhouse movies would often have, like, very sad stories to them when you think about it. And then, like, gussy up everything with as much sex and violence as possible. But yeah, the one guy getting his dick blown off with the shotgun was funny, because he totally had it coming. Well, I would say he totally had it coming. He won't have it coming for much longer after that.
That was bad even for me.
I mean, it's not often that I get to joke about someone getting their crotch blown to bits by a shotgun.
I mean,
I had
fair.
to.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
In that one hentai that a friend of mine sent me a clip of to tell me why it disturbed her so much, and I don't know the context, but I know that I never want to watch it.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Oh, I'm not talking about heads. I'm talking about someone getting shot, a woman getting shot in the naughty bits with a shotgun.
Oh, jeez.
Which, yeah, I don't know what it's from and I don't want to know. My voice filter is working really, really well. Thank you. I tweaked a lot of settings before stream because last time I used this, it was like all crackly and distorted. And really monotone. Turns out I can't just copy and paste the settings from one voice model to the next. I have to manually tweak each one.
Okay, the model is finished. I'm sending you the pictures to look at later for your approval.
Okay. Okily dokily, neighborino. I think my eardrums just jizzed when the Secret Discovery chime played. It's such a satisfying sound. Yes, the sound design in this game is god tier. Everything from the footsteps to the very brief music cues that you get for specific sequences.
Sorry, one more picture.
This game should be taught in a Sound Design 101 class for game development, because it perfectly sets up its atmosphere purely through the sound. You miss from ads you're certain you'll hear eventually. Oh, don't know what you missed, but, well, if you ask me to repeat it, I can just repeat it for you, because I know that not everyone can afford subscriptions or like a Prime subscription, so I try to make it as comfortable of an experience for people who, don't financially support me as possible. Plus, I know Twitch is just a hell place loaded with ads.
Yep.
Ads in the worst ways possible.
Yep.
I hope the next Tomb Raider game tries to replicate the atmosphere of this game. Yeah, I hope so too. Because I played, like, a fair bit of, the 2013 Tomb Raider, and I don't like its setting, characterization, or atmosphere. Like, I get it's trying to do, like, this is Lara Croft before she got her shit together and became a legendary treasure hunter. But I'm like, oh, so we get, like, 8 to 12 hours of, well, getting brutalized over and over again to an almost fetishistic degree with how much they revel in the pain and anguish she constantly goes through, just to hammer in that you're supposed to want to protect her, thereby stripping all agency and, like, you know, trying to make a feminist statement of, like, she's overcoming the odds, but messing up the execution so badly that instead feels like if it weren't for the most statistically likely male player guiding her, then she would never be able to survive on her own, and thereby making a very anti-feminist statement with their game. Yeah, I would prefer a return to this style. And then I never finished that game. And I never played the sequels, but I do own them on a couple platforms. They were given away for free, the entire trilogy, on Epic one year for Christmas. Tomb Raider went from Uncharted territory to Uncharted's territory. Yeah, except, well, I've never played Uncharted, so correct me if I'm wrong on this. I don't think Uncharted revels in its, death and injury sequences quite as much as Tomb Raider 2013 does. Like, it lingers on shots of her getting injured or impaled or killed or whatever for so long that it feels almost like, okay, was the person in charge of this scene animating it one-handed? And can we get some police involved to check their hard drives? I just want to make sure everyone's safe. Uncharted is T-rated? I did not know that. I genuinely didn't. I always assumed it was M-rated. Because that's the trend out of the industry at the time was like, we don't make T-rated games anymore. It's either E10 plus or M. Because that's all that tends to sell is either family games or rated M for manly, mature, grown-up games. Or at least that's how it was in the PS3 days. Thankfully, it's not like that anymore. Because that was a very toxic era of video game marketing and development, where it's like, we have to appeal to the frat boys because they're the ones who buy the most games, even though the games they buy every year are just FIFA, Madden, and Call of Duty.
Yeah, nothing of actual substance. Like, you know, even like Reaper, I hope you're not hearing this, but if you are, I'm sorry. When you play Call of Duty,
Everyone record this next bit and send it to Reaper.
Well, then I'm not gonna say it.
I'm joking. They don't. My audience, I mean, Reaper's audience probably don't overlap.
Yeah, I think the only
Apart from
person and Cloud. Cloud is part of Reaper's
oh yeah, and
audience.
Cloud, I forgot.
Yeah, I brought Cloud over here.
I didn't know that's where Cloud came from.
Yeah, no, that was they came from Reaper's thing because I was advertising you in the server enough times that Cloud took notice and was like, oh, let's have a look at this.
So I have Reaper to thank for one of the best VTubers I've met.
I'm not pretending I didn't hear that.
Cloud mentioned, hell yeah. I actually brought up the thing from last night's stream where I was talking about Itika, the Bua fairy, and I believe it was either you or Shadow Dragon Dascat that thought I was talking about Cloud. And I told Cloud about that, and they thought it was funny that I bring up VTuber with Big Booba, and the first thought is, oh, you're talking about Cloud Sato.
Nope. But yeah, Cloud's good people.
Cloud's very good people. I also have to thank Cloud for pointing me towards the voice changer that I use. I never would have found it on my own.
Nice.
Well, I found the model myself, but the specific program is one that they got me set up with.
Nice.
they do tone down the violence towards Lara in the sequels. I'm glad to hear that. As, like, listen, I'm not someone that gets squeamish at depictions of violence in video games and media, as long as it's fictional. I'm a Saw fan. One of my favorite movies of all time ends with someone having acupuncture needles shoved through their eyelids. But I feel like Tomb Raider 2013 went a bit too far. Just a little bit. In that, like, it didn't really fit the Tomb Raider series, in my opinion, from my limited understanding of it. It was like Mortal Kombat levels of graphics of that era, although Mortal Kombat's a lot more graphic now. You know, an adventure game. And it just came off as kind of off-putting. Didn't jive with the mood.
I'll be back. I need to get more water.
I'd still rather see Nathan Drake's vaults than new Lara's deaths. I mean, now that Uncharted is on PC, you can have both. Also, never forget that the voice of Nathan Drake also voices Deadpool in most media. My boy Nolan North. I would love to meet him someday just because he's Deadpool. I'm sorry, Ryan Reynolds, but Nolan North will be the definitive Deadpool always and forever for me. It's like how, like, no matter who plays Batman in live action, like, they're good actors, but Batman will always be Kevin Conroy to me. You don't remember much of this? Well, I'm glad I'm, uncovering some hidden memories. Or, just teaching you new things as I'm experiencing it for the first time. Whichever. Be very quiet. Bears can't get us if we're wet. Not in that way. I forgot to mention it was a big deal when Last of Us was coming out because that game was Naughty Dog's first mature rated game. I was not aware of that back in the day when The Last of Us was coming out because I didn't get my PlayStation 3 until Christmas of that year. So I didn't follow the marketing hype for The Last of Us because I thought I wasn't going to be able to play it. And, you know, over a decade later, I still haven't played it. Well, that's not true. I played the opening of it, and it didn't grab me. So I just, like, put it down and swore I would get back to it someday, and then just never got around to it.
Beware the Jabberwock, my son. The jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jub-Jub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch.
I'll bander your snatch. Wait. I got that backwards.
What?
I'm in my female model now.
Yeah.
It's official. In order to redeem what I just said,
Death.
we have to commission a gender bent model for JKR. It'll still be a bomb, except somehow make it more feminine.
Yes, thank you, Death.
Thank you, Def. I also love that played the Corona sound effect that time. I have it in the notes at the note graph in the Inyan to randomize between whether it plays the cartoony bonk or whether it plays Corona saying bonk. Also, because of me still not rigging the pet properly, so it was like following my line of sight instead of being at a fixed position. Oh god, how do I do a Shadow the Hedgehog voice with the voice changer on? The answer is very poorly.
Do you want me to refund that, or do you want to do it?
And I'll leave it up to Dascat. And Keanu. Oh, I do it. You know what? I'll have to briefly tinker with some settings to turn off the voice changer for just a sec. Oh, okay. Keep the voice. Okay. You want to hear how it sounds filtered through the voice changer.
Let's hear it, then.
So basically, given the voice changer that I'm using, and given that you want Keanu Reeves specifically, and given that your comments on Shadow's appearance in the trailer, you basically want Goth Mommy Shadow. I gotcha.
Excuse me.
What? You, a criminal in Night City, getting cock? I don't know, I haven't heard enough of the Keanu Reeves' Shadow to really do an impression of it yet, because you only had like 2 spoken lines in that trailer?
Something like that,
I'm
yeah.
going to work on it as I hear more of them. And I say you want Goth Mommy Shadow because the name of the voice model I'm using is called Goth Mommy.
Cool.
Like, I can do a copy of Keanu Reeves' performances, I just haven't picked up on how he's voicing Shadow yet. That's basically Femme Shadow. This is the official gender-bent voice for Shadow. This is the voice for Trans Femme Shadow, just like, we have Trans Femme Sonic, now we have Trans Femme Shadow.
Timo, there's an issue with that. My fuse is already lit, but if you want to light it even more, that's probably what you're going for, I'm assuming. Like the fuse is fewer.
See, we already have a character in Sonic called Shade. She's just legally not allowed to appear anymore thanks to Ken Penders.
Yeah. I feel sorry for Ken Penders, honestly, because the dude, I think he had some like great ideas back in the day, but he just didn't want to let go of, his time in the spotlight.
The main thing is he had some interesting ideas. It's just that it was clear that no publisher would take in his ideas.
Yeah.
No big publisher wanted to work with his original ideas. So he used Sonic as an outlet for the stories he wanted to write, rather than writing Sonic stories.
Yeah. But also the fact is
that he's just apparently he finally came out with the first issue of the Lara Sue Chronicles, and it's creepier than people expected.
Oh, jeez.
Thanks to the first issue of the Lara Sue Chronicles, where he himself does the art, we now know what one of the Sonic Echidnas breastfeeding looks like.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, like I said...
Except, drawn with his bizarre take on, proportions and anatomy.
What I've gathered, from, just watching an interview and, a video about him, he originally got into Sonic because of his son. He wanted to connect with his son, and I understand that, but at the same time, it's dude got way deeper into it than he probably should have, was the problem. and just didn't want to come back out when his time
He got
was up.
into a very specific facet of Sonic, because he didn't seem to really give a shit about, like, any of the stories in the games.
Yeah.
Even though he did make a special issue that was basically just made for his son. That features his son in it. The Sonic Live issue, which features a cover done by him, and it looks nightmare-inducing. It's also regarded as the worst Sonic comic ever produced.
Yeah.
At least during Archie's run. IDW hasn't really had any, notably bad issues.
Yeah, that's true.
Partly because Sega actually oversees the production of the IDW comics, whereas they were really hands-off with Archie.
Right.
You need your ears ripped and mind bleached for what you're hearing. I'm sorry. But, whenever Ken Penders comes up, you're going to hear some stuff that you could have gone your whole life without hearing, because he's a very strange man.
Yeah. I want to say well-intentioned, but, like, misguided is more.
Nah, he's not even well-intentioned. He does shit purely out of spite now.
Yeah, originally it was pure intention, but now it's just, like, spite.
Like, it's spite towards people that he claims wronged him when he got himself in that position.
Yeah.
I'm not going into the thing about his headcanon for Sally Acorn, because that just gets too creepy for my taste.
Yeah, and especially for Twitch, too.
Plus, that would genuinely be something that I might get in trouble for going into detail about on Twitch.
Yeah, hence why I said it's like, TOS violations. We don't want that. No, please stay away from that.
No, if this were some shitty site with zero moderation policies like Kick, then I could totally go on about that, because they allow anything on Kick, even stuff that's obviously illegal, and that they continue to protect and endorse, which is why I'll never stream on Kick.
Good. It's funny. I'm actually pleasantly surprised.
How is that still around? Because it's owned and funded by a casino company that does, like, cryptocurrency casino stuff. Basically, it exists due to shady, dubiously legal stuff, and it's still around due to shady, dubiously legal stuff. Like, it's definitely running at a net loss, given the ridiculous revenue split that they have, that there's no way they're going to be able to keep that up forever. But because it's being funded by a casino, they've basically got infinite resources. It's like how Twitch operates at a loss, but because they're owned by Amazon, they can keep going. Or how YouTube operates at a loss, but because they're owned by Google, they can keep going. I wouldn't even call it black money or dark money, because that implies it's real money and not just made up shit that we decided has value. And no, I'm not getting into the debate about, money is technically made up shit that we decided has value when you think about it, because I am not an economist. I am not getting into the entire philosophy behind a barter economy and fiat currency and stuff like that. I have not studied that. If you want to pay for my tuition so I could study that, then feel free. I will set up a GoFundMe that I will totally not spend on anime figurines and Transformers instead of my tuition.
Let's see. Either I'm blind or I'm not finding it. Ari, did you take out the Crypto Luigi redeem?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. I was not aware.
I took it out temporarily. I'm going to add it back probably later on. Mostly because I was at the limit of how many redeems I could have at once.
I see. I didn't.
So I took out the one that was the longest and that kept on showing up in clips and might have given people the wrong idea of what kind of stuff I do.
Fair enough, because I was.
Because, like, if you're tuning into a clip of me and you've never seen my content before, and the whole time I'm talking, at the bottom of the screen, all you see is an ad for, like, a crypto service, then you might think I'm, like, one of those crypto bros.
That's fair. Because I was going to, like, the whole thing was a setup at this point. I was like, you were talking about cryptocurrency, and I'm thinking, like, did someone say crypto? And immediately just plug Crypto Luigi.
I wonder how that sounded through the voice changer. I'm not actively listening to myself right now, so I don't know. But I hope my shriek, like, satisfied you. Oh no. They do move in herds.
It's not a herd, that's a row.
I don't know, I've never seen Jurassic Park.
You know, if that's the case, dude, whenever I get a chance to come out and see you, hopefully this December, remind me to bring my copy of Jurassic Park with me. We are going to watch that shit.
Gladly. And we're also going to watch The Room.
Yes.
And I'm going to subject you to another bad movie I really like that doesn't get nearly the attention it deserves, called Ryan's Babe. If I could, not The Ring, The Room. You know, the Tommy Wiseau classic.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
So it turns out that thanks to him filing a slap suit against some documentarians, he unintentionally, legally had to dox himself, and we now know Tommy Wiseau's birth name and place of birth.
Nah.
Information that we now aim here of birth, so, you know, all information that he did not want anybody to know. It's all because he filed a frivolous lawsuit to keep a documentary from being released.
Yeah. So,
you're buzzing.
If, oh, shit. Thank you for telling me. I will fix that now. Better?
Yes.
Good. But, yeah, so
we now know that Tommy Wiseau is from Poland, and that he was born in 1955.
Oh, he's from Poland. Okay, did not, you know, that's not where I thought he was from. I thought he was French for whatever reason.
He lived in France for a while, but he will get pissed if you call him French.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, it has nothing to do with, like, being proud of his Polish heritage, because he tries to hide that. If you ask him, he says he's from Louisiana.
Yeah.
But he lived in France for a while after escaping from Poland, during, you know, being part of the USSR.
Oh, yeah.
And, the first place he fled to was France, and, he experienced some horrific, traumatizing stuff during his time in France, which left him with a very sour opinion on France and even the French language. That's why in The Room, instead of using the word fiancé to refer to Tommy Wiseau's character and Lisa as, you know, people that are going to be married, instead of calling each other their fiancé, which is a French loan word, he didn't want to use any French, because he hates everything related to France that much. That's why they go with a much more clunky and literal term, future husband and future wife.
You're my future wife. Damn it, Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, like, Tommy Wiseau is a very problematic person, a very hypocritical person, but he's experienced some traumatic shit in his life, and you can't help but feel sorry for him for the kind of stuff that he's been through, what little we know about. Anyways, I just killed a T-Rex. What's your Wednesday been like?
Do you really want
I
to
don't know why in
just
Jurassic Park they didn't just try shooting the dinosaurs.
I mean, I can give you a reason if you want
Or
to know.
did they? I don't know. I've never seen it. I've been over this many times. As far as I know, they keep trying to escape or capture the dinosaurs. They never tried just shooting them to death.
Yeah, that was the thing. I'll say this much. Usually the reasons why they never tried to kill the dinosaurs was because a lot of times the protagonists always felt like they had every right to still exist. They didn't ask to be brought back into the world, but for some reason they also think it's like, oh well, they deserve to live just as much as we do. They're simple animals. They're just doing what they were meant to do. I'm thinking like, yeah, it's like you people try to half the time you people try to capture them and bring them out for study.
So what you're saying is, if the dinosaurs could speak human language, which if Planet of the Apes is anything to go by, give it time, they will. Then they would then their response to, why are you going on a rampage would literally be, I didn't ask to be your dad.
Yeah, if we have time, I will subject you to all 3 of the original Jurassic Park movies, but specifically 1, because that is the best one out of the trilogy. But if we have time, we'll watch all 3. But again, only if we have the time.
Hey, 3, but what about Jurassic World and its sequels? The ones that people totally give a shit about, outside of just memeing one image from the entire trilogy.
Yeah. I enjoyed the first Jurassic World to an extent, but after that I was just like, I have all 3 of the movies on Blu-ray, but that's just because I'm a freaking completionist.
You know what, we'll also have to watch while, next time we're together, given that we are interested in the work of Thomas Wiseau.
Or Thomas...
We'll also have to watch...
Wiseau.
We'll also have to watch the, sitcom that he made for Hulu.
Oh, he made a sitcom, eh?
Yes, it's called The Neighbors, and it's a fever dream.
Oh, jeez.
He plays 2 characters. They're supposed to be 2 unrelated people of 2 different ages, and the only difference is the kind of wig that he's wearing. One of them's, Tommy Wiseau was in his 50s when he filmed it. One of them's supposed to be the landlord of the apartment building that takes place in, and the other's supposed to be like a 20-year-old college student.
Oh, jeez. I gotta hear the pronunciation.
Also, it advertises on the cover that it has a special appearance by Robert Axelrod, but he never shows up in the show.
Oh, jeez.
So either it's a lie, or he filmed something as the spirit of a dead British king. And, it just never got incorporated into the show, like it got cut for time or something. We don't know. It's not a sitcom that was intended for streaming. It was a sitcom he was pitching to, networks like ABC and CBS. But Hulu was the only one that picked it up. It lasted for 1 season, and it's regarded as the worst thing he ever made. The difference is, The Room was funny because it was him trying to be serious. This is him trying to be funny on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah,
Think about how horrifying that concept is.
Yeah, he doesn't get that he was unintentionally funny, and that's the reason why.
Yeah, if you ask him nowadays, he'll say that The Room was always filmed as a comedy.
Bullshit. Like if he says that, if I were talking to him, like directly, and he said that, I'd be like, bullshit.
He also has this idea that if The Room were shown in regular theaters on a daily basis, that it would put an end to all crime.
I'm sorry, did you say it would...
I'm not making that up. He is a weird man.
No, I'm just trying to confirm I heard what you said correctly, that I interpreted that correctly, because your voice changer kind of muddled it up. Did you say that he thinks that if it were shown in theaters on a regular basis, it would end all crime?
That is exactly what I said, yes.
Okay, I was afraid that's what you said. I mean, I know Tommy Wiseau is a weird motherfucker, but still.
But yeah, that other movie I want to show you, Ryan's Babe. Imagine The Room, but in Canada.
Ouch.
And it's a road trip movie.
Oh no.
And to give you an idea of how trippy the narrative in Ryan's Babe can be, without getting into spoilers, because it's really a movie that has to be seen without any knowledge of it beforehand for the proper impact. It has a flashback sequence. Pretty standard stuff, right?
Okay.
In the middle of that flashback, it cuts to a flashback that another character is having within the pre-established flashback.
So it's a flashback within a flashback, so flashback Inception.
Yes. Except a decade before Inception was made. What I'm saying is this movie was innovative in its storytelling techniques. Christopher Nolan ain't shit. Look at whatever the fuck the name of the guy that made Ryan's Babe did in 2002. He also made the brilliant decision of filming the entire movie with no sound and having everyone dub their lines in post, even though it was in English. Ready? Because it was cheaper to film without sound.
Kind of reminds me of, God, what was that name of that movie? Like, I think it was, like, from what you're describing, it reminds me of a movie where it was like, they had everything, like, they dubbed over everything, for, like, the dialogue, and I don't remember what the name of the movie was, but it was just, like, some sort of weird...
There's a few movies like that.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to remember what it was called, because I know, Linkara, you know, quote-unquote Linkara. It was Clive Sinclair, one of Linkara's creation, alternative personas. But
Clive Sinclair was a real person, you know that, right?
That I did not know.
Yeah, he was the creator of the Sinclair Computer Company.
It's funny how it's like, I don't think Linkara intentionally did that. I think he was just trying to find
Linkara's specific brand of nerdiness, it was 100% an intentional reference.
But that doesn't make sense if it's a movie. You know, like I don't know, was the real Clive Sinclair into like horror films or something like that? Because that's exactly what Clive...
I don't know. I'm not British. I don't know the history of the history of the Sinclair Company.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Linkara's into all sorts of stuff that you wouldn't expect them to be into, so it would not surprise me if, even if it doesn't have a connection to horror, if he would still name the character after the real-life Clive Sinclair.
Yeah, fair. Though, I actually almost stopped following him at one point because of something he said. And I don't think he meant it out of malice. I think he just didn't. Personally, I felt like this is sad because I am not autistic by any means, but as you know, you are and everything. And I defend those who are, being ridiculed for being autistic. I honestly thought like Kara in one of his reviews, was saying how I thought he was degrading those who are autistic, but then I thought about it. And it's like he's just referring to how the movie he was referring to. I think it was like the Predator movie that had been out for a few years, where that one kid apparently was autistic.
Yeah,
and
the Predator movie where they decide that a kid with autism is like this unheard of concept in an alien species, and he must be captured and studied because he is autistic. He has the smartest brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a very problematic and very common depiction of autistic people in media written by people who do not know a damn thing about autism.
That's a sad fact. Like, I saw that movie once in theaters, and it was with a person I now no longer associate with. So, I honestly do not, I do not remember shit from that film. So, when I heard that, my mind went to, oh shit, he's calling autistic people, he's just degrading autistic people, either intentionally or unintentionally. But I'm like, no, he's just referring to the fact that the way the movie was depicting them was stupid, which I get that.
Yeah. But, yeah, going back to discussion of, shitty, obscure movies that I need to show you, I also need to show you some of the works of Ed Wood. Especially since those are public domain, so we can just watch them on YouTube.
Nice. Ed.
Of course, we're going to have to watch his magnum opus, Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Oh, God. I've heard of that film. I've never seen it. I'm actually.
It is an experience to witness firsthand. It is so uniquely bad in how it's made that no other movie comes close to it in terms of sheer ineptitude. It's so interestingly bad because if it weren't for the weird gaffes and weird writing decisions and weird edits in it and overuse of stock footage and all that stuff, it would be no different than your average bad 50s B movie. But it's the unique combination of all the weird stuff in it that makes it so memorable. The unrelated stock footage of Bela Lugosi that's edited into a chase scene where they didn't have enough footage of Bela Lugosi because he fucking died. So they had his wife's chiropractor stand in for him, and he looks nothing like Bela Lugosi, so he just wears a Dracula cape and covers his face with the cape whenever he's on screen. So you can totally not tell that that's not Bela Lugosi.
Oh, jeez.
The worst UFOs in any 50s sci-fi alien invasion movie ever, which are clearly held up on fishing wire and not made to look realistically like they're flying. They're dangling and bouncing all over the place.
Yep.
And the UFOs that they use are just some model kits that they bought at a local hobby shop. Literally off-the-shelf visual effects.
Yep.
Another one of his movies that I have yet to watch that I would love to watch with you is Bride of the Monster.
Huh.
partly because the ending features Bela Lugosi fighting a giant octopus.
Oh, jeez.
And yes, it's as amazing as you're imagining, because they had the giant octopus prop that they allegedly stole from another studio. As in, like, broke into the warehouse at night and stole it. But they forgot to grab the motor for it, so it couldn't move. So, the fight consists of Bela Lugosi thrashing around and clearly moving the tentacles with his hands to make it look like he's being attacked by the octopus.
Oh, God.
I should also point out that there are tons of gaps and flubs and bloopers in Ed Wood's movies, and you're gonna have to get used to them, because Ed Wood had a tendency to do one take. Only one take.
Oh, boy.
And whenever something was clearly wrong in a shot, you would either say, "We'll get it in editing," or "the audience won't notice it."
Newsflash, we noticed.
Like, in Plan 9 from Outer Space, when the final of the 3 zombies is climbing out of his grave, and you can see that he's clearly having trouble getting out of the grave because he's too big. He's a very chunky man, and he's having trouble climbing out the hole, and he gets stuck. And you could see, like, another actor who's supposed to be being attacked by him rush in from off-screen and try to pull him out.
Oh, jeez.
How the leader of the aliens keeps looking down at what is clearly his script.
What is line?
And then there's just the bad science in it. Like the reason the aliens are invading is because humans are on the verge of inventing a kind of bomb that destroys sunlight, and therefore would wipe out the entire solar system.
So, what are these aliens from, like, our solar system? So it's like...
They don't say where the aliens are from, other than outer space. There are a grand total of 3 aliens in the movies, and their plan involves creating only 3 zombies. Because that's all they could afford for the cast, was 3 people to play zombies. One of which is stock footage of Bela Lugosi, one of which is TV horror hostess Vampira, and one of which is a Swedish pro wrestler who gets stuck trying to crawl out of his grave, as I said before. But yeah, the whole thing is like, it's trying to do like a Day the Earth Stood Still thing, where it's like you need to stop making weapons of mass destruction. Except it's like, you're about to create a solar bomb that destroys particles of sunlight, which are made of many atoms. Like, it's a bomb that literally blows up the universe when it explodes. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Like, that sounds like something Dr. Eggman would reject for being too stupid.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Like,
Eggman
that sounds like something that would be in, like, a Looney Tunes thing. It's like, oh, that blows up the universe. Okay.
I mean, the Eggman is eccentric, but, you know, he's not that stupid.
He's not stupid at all. He has an IQ of 300.
Yeah.
And yet he's still not smarter than an 8-year-old Tails.
Right. But somehow the two actually, like, I feel like the two should have, like, something of, like, a mutual respect for one another, but
They do.
You know,
It's just that they didn't really establish that until Ian Flynn took over writing. Like, they have some begrudging respect for each other's capabilities and intelligence, but they aren't, like, friendly with each other.
no, of course, because, you know, why would they? Why would they be? How could you be worthy? We're all puppets, tangled in strings.
Speaking of strings and vaguely European accents, we also have to watch Glen or Glenda, which features Bela Lugosi giving some of the most out-of-context, even in-context, narration in movie history. It's where I got that pull the string clip from Ever Javon Frontier from. No, it does not make any more sense in context. If anything, it makes less sense in context. Because it's like, you know, we're seeing the day-to-day life of Glenn, who likes to cross-dress wearing his fiance's clothing. And then all of a sudden you cut to footage of stampeding buffalo with Bela Lugosi superimposed over it, sitting in a chair and wearing like a Hugh Hefner jacket, and saying, "The string! The string!"
Oh, jeez. Also, in response to Ed Wood's shit, you know, I'm just gonna say 2 words. Ed Wood.
Also, one of my favorite stories about Ed Wood's personal life was, like, the way he passed away, unfortunately. Because it's, like, kind of darkly funny.
How so?
Like, later on in his life, he would regularly pretend to have heart attacks just to fuck with his wife.
Oh, jeez.
And then he did have a heart attack and his wife didn't believe him.
Yeah, that's what you get for crying wolf.
Or at least that's how the story goes. We don't know for sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, very interesting character, and, Tim Burton made a movie about him. Which was done in the style of Ed Wood movies, complete with being shot in black and white.
Oh, wow.
There's even probably the funniest joke I've ever seen in a movie that was intentionally shot in black and white during an era where color was easily available. Which is, like, he's looking at, they're in the costuming department. And, the costumer for the movie is like, "Hey, which dress should the lead wear? The red dress or the blue dress?" and holds both of them up. And then, the person that is supposed to answer says, "Well, I don't know, I'm colorblind. Do the dark gray one." Which, you get it. You can't tell which one's the red one and the blue one in a black and white movie.
Right. That's the joke.
Yeah. Also, Martin Landau won an Oscar for it for his performance as Bela Lugosi.
Nice.
Like, Martin Landau steals the show in the movie Ed Wood, with his portrayal of Bela Lugosi because he's so funny, so quotable, and also so tragic. But, like, one of my favorite bits in it is, like, when he and Ed Wood are bonding over watching Vampira's TV show on Halloween night. And Martin Landau's Bela Lugosi is, like, got a thing for Vampira because she was, like, the Elvira of her day. Right down to the, revealing for the time slinky black dress, modeled after Morticia Addams.
Fair.
And she's playing one of Bela Lugosi's movies on the show, White Zombie. And, like, he starts doing, like, the hand hypnotizing thing that he did in White Zombie and Dracula. And, Ed Wood tries to follow along with him. He's like, how do you do that, Bela? He says, you must be double jointed. And also Hungarian.
You know, I just happen to have been looking at my following channels and everything just to see who I'm following right now, who went live. Looks like Psionic Hex is live right now. That's cool.
Nice. I'm probably gonna wrap up soon, and then we'll drop him a raid.
Yeah. I just happened to notice, I'm like, yeah, you know, thinking like, dude, probably, wait, Death,
I think you fractured your finger, but what I meant... Damn! Death, what'd you do to fracture your finger? You should get that checked out, my dude.
Yeah.
You just missed a discussion of shitty B movies, that's all.
Yeah, really, that's all.
But yeah, please take care of yourself if you are injured.
Also, if you have an opportunity to tell us, please enlighten us. What exactly did you do to fracture it? But don't tell if you can't right now. Just, you know, save it for story time later if you can.
I cannot tell you, it's confidential. Anyway, how's your sex life?
Yeah, right. Yeah, what's sex life?
Exactly. Alright, we're almost done with this level. This one's taken me long, because I always get lost in it. I totally didn't check Discord. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I fucked up that jump.
You are
I love how she just ragdolls.
Yeah.
I love how she ragdolls when she dies from falling. Fell going up the stairs and slammed my fingers trying to save myself from the fall. Kind of hard to explain. I know exactly what you're talking about, so you don't need to explain.
Yeah, don't
There's a
worry
very easy way to hurt yourself.
It has happened to me countless occasions, so I completely understand.
This is actually part of the reason that I wanted to play the PS1 version instead of the remaster, because the remaster uses a different save system. Instead of having, you know, those save crystal checkpoints, you have to manually save, otherwise you restart at the beginning of the level. And I'm very bad at remembering to manually save in the, games like that. Only your middle finger and ring finger hurt? Okay. Hit grip shit well. Ooh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened. That's gotta suck. If you can, try to get that looked at, just to, get some treatment for it, so you don't have to suffer through it untreated. I understand that going to see a doctor in America is very expensive. You'll live probably. Yeah, there's a small chance that I might die from it. Well, technically there's a small chance I might die at any moment. I'll just blame it on the finger.
Yeah, just give him the finger.
It's like how technically the cause of death for, like, have you seen the prequel trilogy for Star Wars? It's like how technically when you think about it, the cause of death for General Grievous was not being defeated in combat by Obi-Wan Kenobi, it was heartburn.
Yep. Fuck were you trying to tiptoe and run up the stairs? You know what? Don't think I want to know.
It was Mace Windu's fault.
Yes, okay, let's go with that.
No. Mace Windu's too awesome to pin the blame on. It's Jar Jar's fault. Everything is Jar Jar's fault. Keep in mind, if it wasn't for Jar Jar, then the entire war wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Ow. Let me know if I start buzzing, because I'm just moving my microphone around.
Okay. I think I'm headed the right way. Or am I? The world may never know.
You know, this is the second time I've actually held Optimus Prime. And I gotta say, it's actually a really good figure. I do like it. I just...
But you missed just some wandering about.
And some bad jokes.
I'm trying to finish up this level and then we'll go raid my buddy Psionic Hex. And JKR detailing his experiences manhandling Optimus Prime. What, no witty retort? Are you giving me the silent treatment, or is your mic just not working? Or is Discord broken?
No, it didn't. I was being silent because I was trying to get the damn audio clip to play. That was going to be our response.
I mean, to be fair, it's not often that you get to manhandle a cop. Usually they're the ones manhandling you.
Yeah, my luck most of the time.
You're excited for Friday, you get to go to that Gundam base tour. Awesome. I want to hear how it was. I want to hear all the details when next time you're able to tune into all my streams.
Just can't wait for Friday. Hmm.
What's the Discord again? Forgot to join it. Last time.
I'll
Put in the exclamation point Discord command and it'll give you a link that never expires.
There you go.
Yeah, you get yours on it. He gets to it before anyone else ever can.
Hey,
Yeah,
I got
there's
the
a
fastest fingers
link
in
for
the
you to
West.
join. Then I just make an introductory post in there. Go into the role server to not role server, roles channel to get whatever roles suit you. And yeah, make yourself at home. As long as you obey the rules, which there's not many. It's just general, like, don't be a dick stuff. Only I'm allowed to be a dick. And that's also the first place that I post my streaming schedules. So, if you ever want to know what I'm streaming and when, you can check in there, and you'll also see, like, any updates on, like, if I have changes of plans.
Yep. But yes, we all have a good time in the Discord. It's a blast.
And I know a channel in the server that you'll probably get a lot of use out of is Recent Acquisitions, which is where people post like new things that they've gotten. So that would be a perfect place to post Gunpla stuff that you've built. Might as well post all the Gundams you got next to me right now. Awesome, can't wait to see them. I love seeing people's model kits. Like, having built a handful of model kits myself, it's so satisfying when you've finished and you get to see the completed product. I finally found my way out of there. And there we go, level complete.
Finally.
We'll save here.
Oh yeah, okay. I was about to say it looks like Psionic X went offline, but no, he's still going, which is good.
Alright. Let's hope we can catch him before he goes offline, because it is pretty late over there.
Yeah.
He's playing Dead by Daylight. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you to JKR for joining me tonight.
Always a pleasure.
Go give Psionic X a warm welcome. I'll see you guys next time, and until then, unpleasant dreams.
Well, we're the boys of chorus. We hope you like our show. We know you're rooting for us, but now we have to go.
Good night, everybody.